Why? You guys ask a very good question. Why would I buy this? Well, I'm not going to blame it on I'm going to take full accountability here. I bid on this, and nobody else did. And I own a Ranger, an 87 Ford Ranger with a clean title that has sat since 2003. It went for $100. I mean, it's not what I had to pay for it because there's fees and towing, whatever. But sometimes I just need to let things go. And it's a pretty clean, it's an okay clean truck. And maybe it deserves a second chance. I have no idea, but I got to do something with it. And that's what we're going to do today. Something. We're going to do something with it. All right, I think I've got this figured out. I know what I want to do with this truck. I'd like to sell it because I have way too many things to work on, way less time to do it, and I don't want to work on this. But I am going to follow through with my initial fleeting thought when I click that bid button, and that is, let's see if we can get it started. Let's see if it drives, if it runs, if it's why it was parked in 2003, and the only reason I know that is a Carfax. And then I'm going to sell it for anything, any money, something that doesn't occupy this much space and doesn't have a title. And no, I'm not asking for cars without titles. I literally don't want any more cars. I just want this off of my driveway to someone that will do something other than park it behind their garage, because that's where it's been for months. And I have to stop, to draw a line somewhere. Well, I guess we should take a look at this. I have literally just unloaded it off the trailer when there was snow on the ground, and it is summertime. And it has tires that I don't think you can buy anymore, and it has barnacles growing all down the sides of it. And it might look really good in video, but it is not good. I've thrown some junk in the back because that's what you do with a truck that doesn't run. I think everybody knows that. But I hate to say this, it's not that bad. I mean, it's really not terrible. It definitely needs some power washing, and it'll get that no matter what. And this is the only rot on the truck that I could find. I think it's a really common spot, and you can buy the patch panel for like $20 or $30 on the internet. But yeah, it says 281,602, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. I got the original title with this. That means that this was never registered since the first owner. This is a one-owner truck. I don't know if they're still alive. But yeah, look at this. Barnacles and everything. Windshield's broke. That was a thing I found out after I got it. And we have some penicillin growing on the driver's door panel. And inside, it's fine. It's got some seat wear, but looks like an old Ranger. It's got the correct transmission. It's a very elite truck. I think that's why I decided to pull the trigger on this, even though I know I shouldn't have. Dash is cracked, and let's see, it shows, oh, it's a 5-digit, so 28,000 miles? No, probably 128 or 228, if I were to guess. Definitely not 28,000 with that seat wear. Let's get underneath the hood. I don't know if I can do this with one. Nope. We need it both my hands. All right. Let's see if we can get this. Well, it doesn't have shocks that are good, and I don't know if this is going to come up or not. Oh, sweet sounds. It's wow. Well, that's some vintage dirt. Does this have a hood? It does have a hood prop. Okay. I have no idea where to even start with this. So this is roughly what it looks like. When I say roughly, this is what it looks like. It's dirty. It's got some species growing underneath. And yeah, I don't think this hood's been open for a very, very long time. It's a rather old battery. I wonder if we can get a date code off of that. I wonder if I can do anything with, well, I don't want to break that. Okay. April 8th, whatever that is. I don't think this has one of those round stickers. It's probably before that. But the important thing is I don't see any chewed wires. And that's like the number one thing to be scared of when you get a vehicle that's been sitting for a long time is rodents, because they just love wires. They love it. So I guess we should see if the engine's stuck. That's probably job number one. Actually, before we try to turn this engine over, let's see if it's got oil in it and what the oil looks like. It's full, or close to it. And it's not milkshake, so that's a good sign. And then it has this giant mud dauber's nest on it that we're just going to discard. Now we need to turn this engine over, and I have no idea what size that crank pulley is. Actually, before we turn the engine over, let's see what the coolant looks like. Come on. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, it's green. Huh. Yeah, it looks green. It's good. And it's full. These are all good signs. Now we need to see if it actually turns over. Now we need to see, ooh, what is this? Well, there's a filter. Tech 2000 brake fluid. When's the last time you could buy that? Let's see what it smells like. That was a mistake. After a copious amount of name calling, I was able to get a socket on the crank bolt. And wouldn't you know that this thing turns over. Good signs. So now we're going to put a jump box on it. I'm sure whatever you would call that is in the gas tank is not real gasoline, and I should probably just disconnect it, but we're not going to do that because maybe it'll run. Well, I don't know if this is going to do it. This jump box isn't always the best. Sometimes it is. We're going to hope this is one of those times. It's not sparking. It's going. What gives? Oh, it's not on. That typically helps. Stop beeping at me. Do we have interior lights? We don't really have a lot of light here. Oh, we got headlights. Okay, so there's enough power in there. All right, well, I guess let's see what happens. I have not a lot of hope here. Okay, it made some clicky noises, and now it does nothing. Let's get a different jump box. I don't think that one's happy. Okay, we're gonna add this, see what happens. Hopefully no smoke comes out of anything because I have nothing to catch it. It may have some bad cables here. It's always a possibility. Yeah, they're not so happy. Looks like this jump box is unhappy. And then there's a starter solenoid over here, I think. It's an old Ford, so let's just try some stuff. Those might be fusible links. I don't know. Nothing's chewed on, so that's a good sign. Let's get a screwdriver. I mean a key. I mean a screwdriver. Let's see what happens here. So nothing is happening. Oh, we got some fires happening. So this cable is it's crap. Oh, it's getting hot. Oh, everything's getting hot. Okay. Smells like an electrical fire. Okay, we're on to something. Well, we've established that it cranks. And now we need to, will you turn off? Thank you. Now we need to make a battery cable. I found some amp wire upstairs in my garage, And I think, you know, it's copper wiring, it's all the same. It's gonna work. So I've got the one end of the cable done. Now we're gonna unbolt this. All right, I've got 2 jump boxes on it because 2 are always better than 1. Let's just give this thing max boost here. So we don't have enough power. We got some smoke. Ooh, that's getting hot. So we got enough voltage. I think we got a voltage draw. We got something shorted. Or it's a bad starter, which I hope it's not a bad starter because I don't want to pull a starter off of this. What in tarnation is happening? There we go. All right, where is that connection? Well, here's the starter. It's a little dirty. It's not, okay, it's pretty bad. And we're gonna give it the old jump box treatment, see if it's a problem with the starter or maybe a problem with the wiring. So we're gonna ground it there, and then, why aren't these that long? All right, we're just gonna move this. The starter looks all right. It was really easy to pull, so we're gonna get that back in there. And it sounds like we got a wiring issue, so. No! I need to go this way. That worked out well. All right, let's get the meter here. That's set right. Yep. Now that's the aluminum intake. Let's find something a little more chassis oriented. I think this battery cable is going to be not so hot. Nothing seems to have great continuity here. Yeah, that's not a bad problem. 28 ohms? No, that's not a problem. I want to test this somewhere else so I can make sure this isn't a fluke. Let's see, where is the alternator? There's the alternator. There we go. So we've got good continuity to ground. That means the ground cable, even though it looks atrocious, is good. You know what? Let's test it in one other spot. I really want to make sure that this isn't just a fluke. That might have been just a fluke. There we go. Okay, ground is good. Now we're going to go between the ground and the positive. Okay, so it's got a little bit of a draw, you know, just 7 ohms, 6 ohms. Well, maybe it's just a connection. Yeah. We're just going to ignore that because that's just a draw. I don't think that's going to affect us too much. I mean, it's going to affect us, but we're just going to power through it. All right, first we're going to start with this jump box. This one's usually my go-to around the house. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's give it a key turn and see what happens. We got lights. Okay, it does turn over. Let's see how much life it just sucked out of my jump box. Let's get the other one too. All right, now 2 jump boxes. Well, it cranked okay for a second. I mean, surely this is better. More is better. I just want it to crank and crank and crank. That's it. All right. Sounds good. Nice and even. Let's see if we can find some fuel source here. Give it a little spray. See if it fires up. Okay. So first thing I found is some brake parts cleaner. I don't know if that's going to do the trick, but we're going to give it a bunch anyway. Oh, we didn't need that. Is that good? Let's see what happens. We just need it to start for a second. That's it. Yes! All right. Now I need to adjust the fuel. And it doesn't have any. And I would wager that there's probably no fuel pump in it. Well, I mean, there is one. It's just probably dead. So we got to figure that one out. But it runs. Let's do that one more time. This is fantastic. Stop beeping at me. Let's give it some more juice. More. More is better in every situation. She's a little smoky, but that's all right. Sounds all right to me. It's got a clutch pedal too. That's a bonus. Let's address the battery situation and then the fuel situation. All right, next, the battery situation. So we're gonna pull this piece out of the way, and we're gonna throw a hotter battery in here, something that's not been sitting as long as this one. Set that there for safekeeping. Oh, my froggy friend. Listen, dude. I don't want to hurt you. You want to watch this. This is going to be great. I swear. So I took this battery from work. I'm amazed that you stayed here the whole time. It doesn't really fit, but it fits. It fits enough. And that's what's most important. Now we gotta adjust these here. I don't think we're gonna get these tight, so let's use plan B. Actually, I got a better idea than this old guy. So those are in there. Show you the second oldest trick in the paper. What you wanna do is you wanna take a screw, like a sheet metal screw like these, and then you wanna find a place where you think it shouldn't go, and then we'll just send it on home. Hopefully this is the right size. This is the right size? Yeah. Bam, it's tight. It's like I've done this before. As if I haven't made enough bad decisions, I've decided that the best way to get fuel into this engine consistently and not with a can is to pull the bed. Yeah, we're gonna pull the bed. And I tried this bolt here, which looked to be the best condition one, to base all of my decision making on this process, just to see if this bolt would come out. So if this bolt will come out, and there's just 5 more, how bad could this be? Let's try this one. Oh, there's a hammer here just for me. Well, I think we're going to be okay here. I got all this other junk in here though. Well, I've got 2 bolts cracked loose. Sorry, I got to kind of surf this thing. So these front 2 or rear 2 bolts are loose. This bolt looks rather nice, so I'm sure this one will pop free, right? Yes. But this bolt, well, I don't really have a lot of faith in this one. I gotta fish. Let me get a screwdriver and fish all that junk out of there. That's by far the worst looking bolt. Bunch of rust in here. Please don't break. Yes. It sounds good. Really good. Let's see if my new tool will take this out. Look at this spiffy thing. And it killed the battery. But you know what? Look how far it got it. Well, I got my other impact, my truck driver here. I can't believe these bolts are coming out. That's crazy. How can I get bolts out of this Ranger, and then when we take a bed off a 2010 Super Duty, every bolt needs to be cut off? Oh, that's bad. Well, halfway there, right? That's literally half the work. No, that's not how that works. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Ooh, a penny. Nice. This truck just got cheaper. Okay. Well, the good news is I think I can get 5 of the 6 bolts out pretty easily. That's amazing to me. For a Midwest truck. Let's see what this feels like with the breaker bar. Feel like there's a capture nut that's spinning in there. What is happening under here? Ah, yes. Oh no. It's broken. There's basically a captured nut under here, and it broke it, so the part that the bolt threads into is just spinning on the frame. Alright, let's get these vice grips under here. I think this might possibly, maybe, could work. It's a chance. I think we're doing stuff. Alright, well, it worked momentarily. Look at the height I've got there. So, let's do it again. Well, it's further. Let's try some other stuff. All right, folks. This is how it has to be. Let's see what it takes to get this bed up. Apparently not much. Yeah, what do I got for a filler neck here? Looks like some 7s. Let's get those out, and then I'm going to try to lift this and slide it back so I can have access to the fuel pump. Oh, filler neck's leaking a little bit. Ah, yeah. That does the job. What makes these release? Okay, well, it's disconnected now. I'm gonna pull this out. Make sure nothing's been chewed on. Wiring looks complete. All right, I think I've got this pretty screwed up here, but it's off. Yeah, that's rough. Why would you build it this way, Ford? Oh, yes, it'll come out. Oh, gee, I don't know why it wouldn't run. What do you call that? Oh, the smell. Man, no mustard here. So this is more like barbecue tar here. The float's all destroyed. I don't think I can do anything with this tank without pulling it out and trying to clean it out, and I feel like I'm just going to be chasing trouble non-stop with this, and frankly I don't want to do that. You gotta find another way. I'm kind of in a dill pickle at the moment because I have to get fuel to this engine and it can't be low pressure, it has to be high pressure, it's fuel injected. So using the original fuel pump is totally out of the question. That's covered in barbecue tar. And the fuel tank is filled with something that's like gasoline, but probably not as flammable as it's supposed to be. So I have to do something kind of outside the tank. Yeah, this will be interesting. So as it turns out, the sending unit does have some useful components. We're going to remove them right now. There are only 4 pins on the connector for the sending unit, and I verified which are power and ground to the fuel pump. So now that I've got those identified, it's time to make our harness. All right, now it's time to carefully connect our harness. Let's get my meter out of here. You gotta realize, this is just a temporary fix. We just need this thing to move under its own power. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is connect some hose to these. We'll use this one for here. All right, that looks good. And then this is not actually fuel line. This is part of an old air hose that broke. Don't throw that away. It's good for other purposes, I think. Might be a little large in diameter, but we got clamps. That's exactly what clamps are for. Putting the wrong size hoses on and making sure that they leak. And that one's in. Now we're gonna kind of put this back in here, kind of cover this hole up, because it's pretty rough. I don't want to spill any of it on my driveway if this thing decides that it can actually move. There, that's the best situation right there. Now the next step. Before I start climbing in the bed, I'm going to actually slide it back into position. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. Almost perfect. Let's just get this stuff in here. Pretty noises. Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh, we are almost there. Now we'll do the electrical, and this is by far the quickest way. I didn't say it's the best way, but it is for sure the quickest. Okay, all right, I've got everything hooked up. Not great, but it's hooked up nonetheless. And now we're gonna rotate this to where because the truck is at an angle, so we're gonna rotate this to where the fuel pump is on the lowest spot, because I don't have a bunch of gas to put in here, I just have some. There, like so. So I have like 3 gallons maybe. Put some petrol in it. All right, now I'm going to connect the battery and key on and see if it sprays fuel anywhere. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I guess we're going to try it because I don't see fuel leaking anywhere. I can't hear if the pump is priming, so we're just going to try it. Here goes nothing. I don't know if it's got enough pressure. not really building any pressure. That's not what I want to see. Okay, now I'm going to crack these loose a little bit and see if I got fuel pressure, because maybe the pump that's in here is bad. I mean, it is a BMW. This is the one that should be pressure here. I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, there's nothing. It would be spraying out if that were the case. So the pump's bad, or it's not reaching fuel. It's possible it's not reaching fuel. Let's get this apart. This assembly went in 10 kinds of stupid. Alright, so what I ended up having to do is replace the fuel pump. I had a cheapie on the shelf. We're going to see if that works. Kind of had to rig it to get it in there. Hopefully it stays where it needs to, but I have my doubts. You just got to get it in the hole. Just got to get it in there. Alright, so I manually primed the fuel pump. My jump box. Oh yes. We have some nasty fuel coming out. That should be good. Sorry about the wind, guys. I didn't make the best face of this. Let's see if she starts. Fuel pressure? Yep, sure do. Let's give it some sprays of the good stuff. Give it some RPM and see if she'll run on its own fuel source after that. That should be good. We're going to take the hammer and strike the fuel wheel, because it could be some stuck injectors. And in my experience, when you hit them with a hammer, when you hit anything with a hammer, it's either going to make it work or make it worse. So we're going to try that. So now we're going to hit things with a hammer, just because I think it might have some stuck injectors, and I've gotten them unstuck with some hammer strikes. I don't know if I can get directly on it, but we're going to try. Yeah, let's get a precision tool for this. All right, injectors, be happy. All right, now let's try it again. Oh yeah, she's coming around. Oh man, we are smoking up the neighborhood. It's certainly not running on all of them. Oh, but we are running with a BMW gas tank. Yes. Will it idle? That sounds like a scary idea. It's idling. Yes. Well, it just needed the cobwebs blown out of it, I guess. I'll deal with that in a little bit. Let's give it some more hammer taps, because that seemed to do something. That's not gonna do anything. Let's give it some more beans. Well, but this is still a good sign. I don't know what cylinder is not happy. Let's give it the old wiggle test. Can't find anything super unhappy. I really don't want to get shocked. It doesn't feel good. This thing will probably give you some plug wires, spark plugs, you know, tune-up parts in general. But it's definitely running on at least 4 cylinders. Question is, does it move? All right, let's go move the rock that is the parking brake. All right, we got a clutch pedal. Oh, the brakes are locked up. Well, it'll get there if it needs to. Well, it runs poorly, and it's got a dead miss, so it's probably ignition related. Could be an injector, but I don't think it's a mechanical problem. Didn't hear anything, and it's not like it cleared up like a vacuum leak would when you rev it. It does have a pretty nasty fuel leak from the driver's side frame rail, and I would bet that that's a fuel filter. Don't know how I want to approach that repair, but we'll get there. Outside of that, it's got brakes that are locked up. The clutch doesn't feel good. This is a great condition vehicle, and I don't know how much farther I want to take it. I think I just want to wash it. I'm gonna bolt the bed back down. We're gonna power wash this thing, and then maybe one of you guys wants it. Maybe not. I don't want to scrap it, but that's in my back pocket. Maybe it'll go to a good home. I don't know. Maybe somebody will do something nice with it. I know it's leaking, but I need to get it to the other driveway. It'll be fine. One thing I forgot to check is whether it had a brake pedal. Thankfully it does, and it didn't crash into anything. But now it is time to power wash this thing and get all of the years of barnacles. I know it's not barnacles. Anyway, we're gonna get this clean. I'm gonna do a little bit of prep work before we start power washing. I mean, the power washer will do a really good job, but I'm gonna put some glass cleaner that's kind of soften this stuff up, and hopefully it'll just fall right off. I mean, I knew it would clean up, but like this, it's quite an improvement, and I still haven't hit the top of it very hard. It's gonna look all right. It's tan. And it has hail damage now. Okay. Now that the outside is cleaner, it's not perfect, I want to power wash the engine bay. I'm not going to go crazy trying to clean this thing up. The interior's still really gross. We're not going there. But I do want to clean the engine bay because someone's going to have to be in here if they intend on fixing anything on this truck. And it's gross. It's got 20 years of grime and dirt, and it's disgusting, and it's time to clean it. I also want to see what it looks like. To do that, I'm going to use some oven cleaner. Normally I'd use some degreaser and, maybe Simple Green or something nice and simple, but we're going to use some oven cleaner because this is apparently pro commercial use. So we're going to spray this down, let it sit for a few minutes, and then power wash it off and see what it looks like. As you can see, this engine bay is absolutely filthy. I mean, it's got caked on oil and mud and dirt and dust. It's pretty gross. So it'll be interesting to see how clean this looks when I'm done. Because I know this is going to yield a bunch of junk falling down onto my driveway, I've put a bunch of absorbent mat underneath it that will let the water go by and hopefully catch all the grime and grease so it doesn't end up on my driveway or in the creek behind my house. I've also got some of these socks. All this stuff is from New Pig. It works really good at absorbing the oil and letting the water pass. Oh man, this stuff's rough. Well, it said to leave this sit for 3 minutes. So it's been a few more than that. We're gonna start blasting it. Hopefully this doesn't come back and hit me. Oh, the valve covers are painted. We're gonna give it one more round of this. It was just so thick. That's what she said. I'm not laughing, I'm dying. Hit this one more time. It's looking pretty good. Well, this looks a lot cleaner. Did you know the valve covers were supposed to be gray? I can read the writing on most of the rubber. I missed a few spots. But this will be a lot easier to work on, diagnose, and repair. Probably should have done this before I started working on it, but you know, there's no fun in that. I hate to say this thing looks good, so we're just going to say it looks okay. It cleaned up pretty good. And I would say it's in above average condition for an 87 Ford Ranger, but it is still not a prime example. There's some rust on the wheel arch. The paint's just baked off of this thing. It's just wet after power washing. The sides look good. It's got that 80s patina that nobody asked for. I'm not sure if this thing deserves to be scrapped or not. I think this could have a life beyond what I've done here, but we shall see. I don't really come up with names or nicknames for my vehicles. It's just, they are what they are. But this truck, it screams Gramps. I mean, it's a grandpa truck. It's brown and tan two-tone with a pinstripe in the middle, white wall tires, and it actually had an aluminum camper shell. I Google Earthed the address on the title when I first got it. This is the perfect old man truck. This is it. And I don't really know why I bid on Gramps. It could be the fact that I see perfectly good vehicles with minor flaws scrapped every single day, and it just drives me nuts. And I decided to do something about that by bidding on this 87 Ford Ranger. Not one of my prouder moments. But one of the things I've learned in the 20 years or more that I've been into cars is that it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. It could be the worst car you could possibly think of. And in my mind, Renault Alliance, which that might make some of you mad, but it doesn't matter because there's some people out there that love those things. I'm not one of them. But I'm hoping that this 87 Ford Ranger is one of those cars for one of you. Maybe you want to take this project over, see it through to whatever you'd like to do with it. I'll even throw in the gas tank, everything, and ready to go. Just throw a jump box on it and drive it onto the trailer. Does need some work. And for what I want for it, I don't care. Cash or trade me an engine I can tear down on the channel or tools, or as long as it's not another vehicle. I have a few too many. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely outside of the norm for what I have time for, but it gets hopefully one vehicle off of my driveway, and there are many more to go behind this. As always, I love all the comments, all the feedback, and even the criticism. I love it all, and I'll catch you on the next one.